Welcome everyone to the Darkest Dungeon. I am Gankum, your host with the most of absolutely everything here on Subject Neutral, and today we are starting a new series. We are going to be playing through the Darkest Dungeon. Now, this is a long game. It can be quite long. As you can see, here we go, my main one, the Darkest Update. I'm in week 85 and I'm still not that close to being finished, so I don't think we are going to finish the game in this series. Not that we ever finish a game in any of our series, but we're gonna do a dozen or two episodes, and we will see where it goes. This is mostly so everyone can have a look, see what it is. Maybe we'll get some funny stuff. The Darkest Neutral. Well, let's spell it right. Neutral. Darkest Neutral. There we go. So this is sort of like a dungeon crawler, kind of like D&D, but the thing with this is you're not the adventurers, you're the manager, almost. You're the guy. Oh, let's let the cutscene play first.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so this is going to bring us into sort of the tutorial level. And the thing about Darkest Dungeon is it is brutal. It is grim, it is dark, and the randomness and the monsters and everything will kill you. We will get more into the actual sort of way stuff works as the game progresses. But one of the things that's important to know is don't get too attached to your heroes, because it is ridiculously easy for them to die. And it saves constantly, auto-saves constantly, so you can't go back. If someone dies, you will not revert to a save file. You can't go back. They are dead. They are gone. But it's sort of meant to be that way. You are not the adventurers, like I was saying. You are the guy managing the town. So you can hire adventurers for free, and they will come and they will stick them in the dungeon. What gets expensive is upgrading them, getting them better weapons, unlocking their abilities. But if you ever run out of gold, it is real easy to hire 4 adventurers and just suicide them in. They don't have to survive, they just have to retreat with as much gold as possible so that your next expedition is that little bit better. So here's the tutorial level. We have Renaud the Crusader. We can get rid of this. And we have Dismas, the Highwayman, although we will rename names later. So let's start.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
The narrator is one of the best things about
Dispatch
this.
this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
So your heroes move on their initiative order, just like in D&D. The higher their speed stat here, the more likely they are to go first. I actually probably should have stunned him. Dog barking in the background, even though he has no reason.
Don't rush this advantage. Give them no quarter.
So we got a pittance of gold there. Now we're about to loot their camp. We got
nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
We got a good bit of gold there. And now we have a room fight.
Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
So our sort of goal here, if you will, is we've got to purge this hamlet and bring it back. Get rid of all the bad guys, all the monsters that have overrun so much of it. And clean it out pretty much. And to do that, we will go through as many heroes as it takes. And actually, if you don't mind this, I'm going to turn the audio down a bit. Not that much.
Rat, well struck.
There we go. Save it. There we go. Now I'm not going to get drowned out too quickly. Okay, so we've got to kill our way through this brigand bloodletter. Brigand bloodletter. Now you really have to watch your health. Health is important, obviously, but at the end of that map, that adventure, that excursion, whatever you want to call it, everyone fully heals. What they don't heal is stress damage, which is this stuff down here, although it doesn't happen just yet, or quirks and various illnesses that they'll pick up. But we'll see that as we go. Okay, good miss, and kill him.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
So unfortunately now I have to get rid of this corpse before we can get to this guy at the back. But Dismas can shoot. Actually, it might have been better for him to start whittling away at him. Okay. And I have, like I was saying, this is brutal. I have played games where I've lost one or even both the tutorial people because the bad guys roll really freaking well. Okay, we want to cut him. Excellent.
Broken. Maintain the offensive.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to... I'm actually discussing with Torque in another window whether we're going to do anything. Okay, so we don't want to leave yet. It's going to offer us to leave, but we want to stay for a second because we want to open this chest. And we are going to use the shovel to do so because it says it doesn't look right. Okay, never mind. It's not going to matter. Okay, and now we will leave and we'll get to the hamlet. So we get some cash for completing that because we have arrived. We picked up some cash and we picked up some cress. So these heirlooms. Okay, so they got a bit of experience. Excellent, so they're level 1. But those heirlooms are what you can use to upgrade the buildings in your town. There's about 4 or 5 different kinds of them, and the more you upgrade buildings, the more they'll do. You can either get better weapons, better armor, or maybe they'll heal faster.
Such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
So this narrator, as far as I know, that's not you, it's not even your assistant, that's like your ancestor, the person responsible for corrupting this place, and he's talking to you, who has just been handed it to try and lead you into cleaning it up. Yep, there you go. So we'll visit Graveyard first.
Up here, covered in the poison.
So this will just list where your dead people, what killed them, what level they were. Here is sort of your ancestors' memoirs. So this is where the cutscenes are, the various talks, stuff like that. You know, usual stuff. The only thing unlocked for us right now in this first level is the stagecoach. This is where you can upgrade, or not upgrade, this is where you recruit your heroes, and obviously we're going to want to do that first. And we're also going to upgrade it pretty much right away so that we can get lots of characters. But let's start with renaming some people. So, no, stop, there we go. We will have Hondo, the Destroyer. Okay? We won't, no, it's too long in there, so we're just going with Hondo Destroyer. Let's see. Gank him. Torque. Come on. Torque. And like I said, expect these people to die. It's gonna be brutal. Let's see, and Wolfie first off. Ignore the fact it's female. So we can't, none of these stuff are open yet, so we're pretty much launching right into a game.
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
So we can only go in here. We are scouting. Test yourself in the mad realm of your fallen ancestor. Take note of how the creatures have taken over, but don't delve too far. So for our goals for this coming mission, we have to explore 90% of the rooms. It's an easy one. And this is what we will get in return, as well as whatever we find in there. So we're going to take all 4 people. Now, one of the things to keep an eye on is how you arrange them here in this bar, is how they will show up, the order they walk in and the order they fight in. And you can arrange that in the game too, but it's good just to set it up here so you don't forget.
Cost of preparedness.
Yeah.
Measured now in gold. Later.
So, this is where we're taking supplies. I'm taking a fair number of torches and a fair bit of food. Okay. There we go. This should be enough for now. Let's hope, anyway. We'll discover. Oh, look, animals everywhere. They're all watching. Hi, guys. What are you up to? Cat meowing in the background. So, this is going to be our first expedition into the ruins. We're going to clear some stuff out. We'll see some fights. And hopefully we can begin to cleanse this fallen land. So here's the map. We can move it around. We're on our way to the first room. So along the way, in the corridors, you will find these various items you can interact with. Some might require other items to do stuff. You use an item on one of these curiosities. So for example, a chest might take a key, or you might run into more fights in the hallways. So it's you want to be pretty careful. You don't want to die. Okay. And we're gonna kill for now.
Continually onslaught. Destroy them all.
Yeah, thank you, narrator. Excellent, so we get some cash.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
This is good. So we got some portraits, busts. So those are some of the heirlooms that we can use to begin upgrading some of the places in town. We do have a shovel. Great. So sometimes when you get a lucky scout roll, it will give you an idea of what's ahead. So for example, battle spot, a curio, one of those curiosities. It's telling us the next room is empty, but the 2 rooms after that both have stuff in them, and we've got a wall in our way. So with a wall, you can dig through it with your hands, which will stress you out and hurt you, or you can use a shovel and it's okay. Now when you're in the expedition like this, there's a few other things you have to keep an eye on. There's your torch level up here. The brighter it is, the happier your people are, the more likely you'll scout, stuff like that. As it gets lower, you start getting stressed, the monsters start doing more damage. So you really have to keep an eye on how bright it is. But your stress is one of your most important things, and that's this white bar at the bottom. That is like their mental health. If your character gets too stressed, they start freaking out, they start going insane, and if it continues to get stressed, eventually they will have a heart attack and die. So you're actually watching about 3 different almost resources as you go through the dungeon. You're keeping the light up, you're watching their health, and you're watching their stress. At any point outside of a battle, you can retreat. Like you can attempt to retreat from the combat, and also you can attempt to retreat out of the dungeon. If you retreat out of a dungeon, the guys you took will be really stressed, but you'll keep whatever you found along the way. You won't get the reward at the end, but you will get the loot that you discovered. Which is why I was talking about those suicide missions. Because if you start running out of resources to equip, so you don't even have enough gold to buy torches at the beginning, then it's suicide time. As you send people in just to try and make 1 or 2 rooms to get some gold, and you do that once or twice, and now you have enough gold for an actual decent expedition. Hi, kitty. I see you, but I don't know what you want. You just keep walking around and meowing. Yeah, go hang out with everyone else. So we're going to check all these because we're in pretty good shape. We only really need to see 9% of the rooms. And you often want to try and arrange it so you on the map, so you're not going back and forth on places, because that wastes torch. There's a bigger danger of running into bad stuff. Oh, come on. It is pretty dark. Oh, everyone's coming out and making noise now. Dogs making noise, cats making noise. Okay, so we have a bit of a bigger fight, but hopefully that bigger chest will give us some good loot. I actually want to try stunning people. Oh, that's good, because we're going to kill her. Oh, come on. Okay. Good, good. He's resisting bleeding. There's lots of different things you can do to people. There is bleeding, which will cause them to bleed out over time. There is... stun you. There is blight, which essentially poisons them, causes them to take poison over time. You can some stuff will move people about, so you could get hit that pushes you back in the ranks, forward in the ranks, and your attacks, if you look at this, it tells you what position in this group of 4 they can be used in. So Hondo here, his smite, if you look at those 2 white circles underneath, it says he can use this from either the 2 front positions and it will hit the 2 front enemy positions. So we will do this. I actually probably should just like slash them. Okay, good, good. You wanna, it's good to stack up as many of these debuffs as possible, because they will do damage every time the enemy acts, and you can sort of arrange it, stack it up, it will stack, so you can do like 10-15 damage on somebody every time they do something, which can be real good. And see, we managed to set it up by getting that witch moved to the front. This skeleton in the back can't do anything, because his attacks need to be used from the front of the queue. Let's see, we need to clear corpses, so we will do that. Oh, there we go. And that, see, now he's close enough he can stab at people. So actually, we're not doing too bad, but we could be doing a bit better. Our front people are getting a bit wounded. I'd actually like to sort of stall until I can heal, but if you skip your turn, they will take some pretty significant stress damage, and stress is the hardest resource of all to keep good. It's really hard and it's really expensive. You usually can't heal stress during a dungeon. You have to wait till you're back in the hamlet, and it often costs several thousand coins at a go in order to bring the stress down. Okay. See, that's what I mean by using an item on a curiosity here. Oh, and now my cat's trying to get all up in the keyboard. Excellent. Oh, trap. Come on. So we will use a torch before going into the next room. Because the brighter it is, the more likely the enemy is to be surprised. And the darker it is, the more likely they are to do damage to us, which probably isn't good. So I'm going this way to check out this room. I was telling you, you generally don't want to backtrack too much. It wastes time, it wastes resources, it will get darker. Your people will get hungry. That's one of the reasons we brought this food. There is a random chance that your people will get hungry. If they eat, they will heal some stress. If they don't eat, then they get massive stress and they starve and start taking some damage. So, great shot. Okay. Come on, Torque. You can... oh, Torque is hurting. 9 out of 12. Let's get some Blight. I personally am of the opinion that Blight is one of the best debuffs in the game. It feels like it affects a lot more people. Torque is almost dead, so let's heal him up. But that Blight on the crossbow man does 4 damage for 2 rounds, so that's a guaranteed 8 damage on that guy. So if we look at his health, this guy is guaranteed to die by the time that Blight runs out. The thing is, he will get at least 1 more shot off before that happens. Okay, so he's guaranteed to die next round. So we can essentially ignore this guy and focus on him. But Torque is at death's door. So yeah? When a hero is reduced to 0 HP, they are at death's door. While in this state, they will suffer stat penalties, plus any further damage has a chance to kill them. Heal them to get them off death's door. So they actually, like, there's a very good chance they can dodge stuff, they can move stuff, but if they take that final hit, they will die.
As the fiend falls,
Okay.
obey the hope.
See, and we actually want to try and skip. It's not going to work because he's going to die on his turn. But we kind of want to skip until we can get to the cleric, because the cleric's the only one that can heal right now. Let's see. Okay, that's not really what I wanted. Good, good. That's what I want. If we killed him too quick, we wouldn't have got this heal in. So that takes him off death's door. He still has all these minuses until the end of the end of this. The end of this excursion. Not once he gets back to the hamlet, all that stuff is fixed. But until then, he is slightly better. We don't have to worry about him dying right away. Oh, that was a heal. That would have been really good to use with Torque. Instead, heal him right up. Some of the effects are fairly random for what you get, and sometimes they can be quite bad, which is why I picked somebody with more health. Okay, we are almost through these ruins. We need to explore one more room to meet the criteria, and depending on how we're looking, we might do the next room after that just to try and get some extra gold. If you're in good shape, you can continue. See, that's what I mean by food. If we didn't have food, we'd be taking a lot of damage there. Torque might actually have died. Continue adventuring. So we're going to continue. If you're in good shape, it's almost always worthwhile to continue because you will get more treasure. The more treasure you get, the faster you will upgrade. See, this is going to hurt. See that? Yeah, that hurt. And it just about killed our light. We had to burn almost all our torches to get the light up. Okay, let's go. And there is a fight. But see, it could be worth it because that chest could have some really good stuff in it. We need to start sort of stunning some people, though. No, that didn't work. So skeletons can't be bled. If you look down at the bottom, it shows the resistance to stuff. Bleed is 200%, so you're unlikely to bleed. Gankum's open vein attack here is really good for bleeding people out, but they won't bleed, so instead I'm going to start focusing down that crossbowman, because the crossbows are freaking ridiculous. This bone courtier his attack doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does a lot of stress damage, which we have to watch. But we're kind of okay for stress right now. That's kind of another thing where about the heroes being expendable comes in, because if you get somebody who gets a ton of bad quirks, which we'll talk about in a sec, or ton of stress, why spend a couple of thousand on them to heal all that stress if you can just dismiss them, fire them, and hire someone new? Now, you probably don't want to do that to a higher level guy who's been upgraded a whole ton, because he's going to have all those expensive upgrades. But for someone like this who's just level 1, why bother keeping him when instead we can just fire and hire anew? Okay, leave Torque alone. Torque is almost dead. See, look at that stress. Stress is quickly mounting up. So it does 4 damage and he has 5 health left. So, oh damn! I was hoping that would get him. If we do 1 damage, excellent there. So now the next time it's his turn, the blight will kill him. Oh, and that hurts. Luckily, this is the last room on the map, so I'm not too worried. As long as they survive this battle, I don't care how much damage they take. I'm just going to start focusing down people, and total miss. What was that? Come on. So you're fine. I'm going to try and disorient you. Excellent. I mean, that's not fantastic. I would have preferred sort of some other things, but... So, if I look down here, hero damage 3 to 6, 4 to 7. So that's more likely to do a bit more damage at least. So we'll go with that.
The death I
I'm telling you, I love the narrator in this. He is great. I actually probably should have healed Torque. Come on, just leave Torque alone. I'm hoping their attacks can only hit the two in the front. Come on. Oh, and Hondo is stunned. Come on, Hondo. Man up here. They're fighting skeletons. You need to carry your own weight. And there we go. Okay, Everin is... They're both still alive. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, we're going to be fine. I'm pretty sure we're going to get through this unless they score a critical hit. Okay, another one down. We've got one bone soldier left. Just in case, I'm healing Torque. Come on, and there we go. See, and now we're going to get some extra loot. We got an item. Okay. Let's see. Content are ours. So we'll get some more heirlooms. So, like, we got more stress, and we got a significant amount of stress, which kind of sucks for this, because stress is expensive to get rid of. But we got some more heirlooms, we got a little bit more gold and stuff, so I think it was worth it. And we got that rare item, even if it's not an item we're going to use just yet. So, all in all, pretty good. And this is the start of our Darkest Dungeon playthrough. Again, we're probably not going to play through right to the end, because it is a pretty long game. But we will do a good dozen episodes or two. So here at the end of it, there's a chance you'll get some quirks and there's good and bad quirks, as you can see. We will sort of deal a bit more with that in the next episode. But for now, I hope you're having a fantastic time, and we will see you later. Bye.